Okay, welcome to this webinar today. We want to go into detail about how we've integrated WebAwesome web components into our Smart Aquaculture platform. So WebAwesome, built by the awesome people at FontAwesome, have produced a really amazing open source project for web components. And we use their web components and their style utilities and their layout utilities very heavily inside of our the Computate Sovereign AI data-driven website building tools. And it's how Smart Aquaculture was built. So Smart Aquaculture is all integrated with WebAwesome. So the way it works in WebAwesome now is that you log into your account, and as a backer, I have a team which is assigned to me, and then I can create projects. So a couple of the projects going on, Coralberry Fairy Dolls website, Smart Aquaculture. I'm also going to add computate.org as a project, which is my own site, as well as AI telemetry, which is a Red Hat project going on with universities as an upstream project for OpenShift and AI observability. But the Smart Aquaculture project I added here, and so it gives me a Kit code and a script tag to put into my site, and I can go and customize the theme for this. So if I edit the theme, then I get into this theme builder where I can customize everything. So there's some big differences between this theme, which is currently set to active. Where's active? It's right here, versus glossy versus playful. I like tailspin, but actually what I like most is active because it has buttons that really stand out. Because in Smart Aquaculture here, we have these buttons that stack on top of each other for menu items. And if I, um, and I don't want them to just look like one big blob. So I like this look a little better. That's why I chose active. And you're able to choose your theme. Um, I like this one too. Awesome. That would be a good one as well. But I went with active, and then you can go and choose your color set. It's so hard to pick because there's so many good ones, but there's different shades that you may or may not like. Um, so many options. I think, well, let me just change this up to show you what it's like. So if I go to awesome, or I go to playful, because that one's very, very different. And then I go choose some buttons. Let's see, what should I pick? I'll go with rudimentary, and then I can choose a font. I have a hard time deciding what to choose here, but that one's a really skinny font. And then the icons, I kind of manage the icons separately with Font Awesome, but you have some options here. It's not all the options in Font Awesome, so that's kind of why I use Font Awesome directly, because there's more. I have access to more icon families that way. And then you can actually go and customize the rounding of all this stuff, and the spacing to give it more or less spacing. I don't know. Um, Border width. make it thicker borders, I guess. So if I save this theme, save and publish, then I can go to my site and let me open a new tab with this. Let me log in, authenticate, and now we have a different looking site. Oh, there it goes. So it took a sec to apply all the style, but now I think it's cached and it's so glowy, these buttons. It's kind of distracting, but you can really change a lot of things, which is pretty cool. Let me put it back the way I think I like it, which is go back to the active theme and go back to the colors. Let's try natural and font's fine. Okay, let's save this, or actually cancel the colors. I want advanced, I want cyan. Okay, and then save this theme. Save. And then let's see how different it was to what it was before. Might take a minute to apply that theme. Let me see. Did I update it? I think I did. There it goes. Yeah, that looks exactly like before. So uh the way this works in the code is actually I have this running locally. I also have this deployed in OpenShift. So let me show you kind of how it works in these sites that we deploy on OpenShift. If I go to workloads, secrets, and I go to cloud, font awesome, I have this secret where I can specify my font awesome kit and my web components kit. So it's got the identifier for my web components kit here, and then I can reference this in my page layout. So in the page layout of Smart Aquaculture, page layout.htm, if I search for web components kit, I check if it's defined, then paste the script here, and that is what embeds it in the page with Jinja templating syntax. And here, view source, web awesome. Yeah, I put that kit right there. So I can customize it with a secret that's just my kit and nobody else's kit. And then change the look and feel of my site very easily, which is so cool. So the now when I'm when I let me just look and see how this site is currently looking like. Actually, in order for this to take effect, because this is what the site currently looks like, I need to commit the code that I have now where because WebAwesome was just released yesterday afternoon, I still have the code uncommitted for updating the site git status. So I have these changes to page layout.htm to be able to handle this. So the way it works running locally, like we are here, localhost 10230, is within VS Code, if I go to a terminal for Smart Aquaculture and I run this vars.py and I grep for web components, then so it evaluates the web components kit, which is defined in vars.yaml. So web components kit is this, and this vars.yaml does some Jinja to query a Kubernetes secret by the web component secret local font awesome and in the site namespace and get the web components kit value. That's what I was showing you earlier with this secret local font awesome. It has the font awesome kit and the web components kit right here as a secret defined. And then when the site runs, it's able to evaluate this and keep track of that web components kit value, which came from the secret. So the site is always connected to the OpenShift cluster and is able to query that at runtime.
Wow. So I guess we have to I guess you have to put down steps on how you would teach. I guess it would all be integrated into the teaching, like you just said. I mean, whenever we touch it, we need to touch it. You couldn't separate rep ops and teach the steps because it needs to be a part of everything, right?
Yes. In fact, it is something that I need to I need to add a Jupyter notebook for Font Awesome. I think it's actually something that I have. Awesome. Yeah, this fontawesome.ipynb, that's part of the Computate Smart website builder. I need to bring it into the Smart Aquaculture developer course. So that's something that we'll do soon. But it explains how to install a Font Awesome Pro kit. It doesn't explain how to install a WebAwesome kit because it's so new that I haven't got around to it yet. It didn't exist until yesterday.
The
So
bleeding edge. Wow.
yeah. So we'll get this Jupyter notebook in there and then it'll help people configure their WebAwesome and FontAwesome kits and be able to style their sites in really cool ways. But that is how we integrate with FontAwesome and WebAwesome.
And that is awesome because you also take care of your ADA compliance, right?
I think we do a really good job of that. So we can check. So WebAwesome has, if we go to the docs, we have an accessibility thing here. So you can read about the accessibility of WebAwesome. It's not perfect, but it does go a long way to give people a consistent user experience. And we do try to use best practices to replace images with alternate text and things like that. So, I'm trying to use the best there is available for accessibility in our software.
Awesome. Because universities usually have some ADA compliance regulation that they have if it's gonna be used for educational purposes. So that's good.
Yeah. They do say you still have to account for low level vision, color blindness, hearing impairments, mobility impairments, and more. But will the way we write stuff makes a difference for that with alternate text and things like that. Um, I know my son knows how to check how well it reads for like a screen reader. I'll have to try it out and see how it goes. Yeah, good question. So the other thing I've been working on was fixing a few bugs with the related to time zones because I was practicing switching the time zone of a fishing boat, for example, from America, Denver to Los Angeles, for example. And something was goofy about the checkbox being checked after you update the value. But we have that fixed, so now we can successfully update the time zone. And the other thing was um, I wanted to add some new code to handle time zones by their abbreviation. And um, because America Denver, uh, it's hard to remember that means if that means Mountain Time or Pacific Time or whatever. Where's Denver? Which time zone is it? You don't know from this this current search. So let's see if we can um, let's see if we can improve that right now. So I'm currently debugging this right now, and I can I can get the list of time zones within Java using this method, java.util.timezone.get available IDs. It gives me all the time zones, all the many hundreds of them, 632, as strings. So that's a good start. And then I can take that time zone string and turn it into a zone ID Java object, and then I can use that zone ID to get a display name as short standalone, which gives me the abbreviation EET. So that's pretty useful. I also wanted to see display name. Wanted to see what other kind of time text styles there are. Full, uh, and full standalone. I don't even know what these mean yet, but we're going to figure it out. Full standalone. So if I do this, I'm debugging right now. So I run and debug, I create a new watch and put this in there. It says Eastern European time. And let me do this one as well. So this Eastern European time. So I'm not really sure what the difference is there, but I think we can use this information. So what we're going to do is pass on the abbreviation and pass on the display name to this import result object. String display name. Oops. All right. But the problem is our time zone object does not have abbreviation yet. It just has this ID. So let's add some new fields to this class. So I'm going to use some code generation. So watch how this goes. Oh wait, I'm in the process of changing tabs to spaces, two spaces. So I'm kind of cleaning that up as I go. So I'm going to add a new persisted field in the search engine. It's going to be stored as doc values. Time zone details. Let's see, HTML cell 1. 1, 0. This is going to be 1. It's going to appear on the list page of time zones. This is going to be the abbreviation. Display name abbreviation. This is the abbreviation for this time zone. And if I save this now, then it's going to notice our code generation watcher tool notices that this changed. Oh, and it threw an error. It says multiple values encountered for non-multi-valued field, class var ID, abbreviation, and ID. So I made two things be the identifier field for this class, and that was a mistake. So here's where we're going to need to do some work on this ID, but so if I save this now, it shouldn't throw an error. Oh, actually, it will on var name. So that's a mistake as well. So I need it. This is going to be the variable for ID, and this is going to be the variable for name. Actually, we're going to change that in a sec. But if I save this again, then it's not going to throw an error this time. We need to keep track of the abbreviation. We need to keep track of the location as another string. Don't need that twice. We need 1, 2, 0. This is going to be location, and then we're going to do name. It's going to be cell 2, column 3, name. Name for this time zone, or what did we call it here? They call it short standalone, and or no, that's the short standalone abbreviation, and the full is this. I'm going to call this name, and name. And then we're going to create a display name. Display name. And this is going to be the var name and display name. I don't think we need to show it. The display name for this time zone. And we have this wrap object that we can wrap an object with string.format. We're gonna do let's just try adding the name. Location abbreviation, or we're gonna do location name abbreviation. So we save this. It's gonna regenerate this class so that we have a location field and a name field, except we made another mistake. We need to get rid of the var name. W.O to ID. display name. Okay, that got generated. Let's regenerate this one more time. And see how this looks after this. So it's generated. Now if I stop and start this again, it should import them differently. Although we might have some duplicates now, but let's just see how it goes. We're evolving here. It's when I start this, it's going to do the import of the things here. So we have a name, Greenwich Mean Time, and we have an abbreviation, GMT, and we have a zone ID of Africa, Abidjan. So let me just let this run, and it's going to import all of these. Okay, now I come here and I search for Denver. Oh, we have thoroughly messed everything up. Oh, okay, I know why. In our import process, we forgot to import these. So we need to do var location, which is going to be the zone ID. So let me just rename this to location. And then we update the abbreviation to be abbreviation, and we do name to be name, and stop and start this again. Oh, we got some serious errors, it looks like. What a mess. Denver. Okay. I think time zone. Oh, maybe we need to. Oh, I think we have to specify the ID as part of the import. So to ID dot to ID. Trying to think. Which process? Okay, so we can do time zone dot to ID, just like we did in the actual class. We do display name. We don't have the display name right now, so we do string display name equals, and we put this code in there, string format. Okay, and then we put that there, put the display name there, stop, start this again. I think the import will work this time. Let's let it run. Okay. It's importing a bunch of time zones. Come back here. Yeah, I think it's working better now. So Denver, we need to clean up some duplicates, but now it mentions America, Denver, Mountain Time, MT. So I should be able to search for mountain and see the mountain ones, and Denver, it puts the Denver at the top. So
That's
that's a little
awesome,
better.
man. That's
Let's
awesome.
do let's do France. Oh, there's no France. Paris. Paris Central European 10. Okay, there is Europe, Paris. It didn't mention France.
Any
Uh,
Qatar?
and then Qatar, Asia, Qatar, Arabian time.
Yeah, that's me.
Nice. Okay, well, we're getting global here because we need to be able to manage things around the world, keep
Uh-oh,
track of
around the
time.
world. Here we go.
This is important for our digital twin simulations because time
Yes, it is.
matters.
Yes, it is.
We'll put some cleanup code for this, but that's good for now. I need to get to another meeting. Thanks for watching.
Hey, thank you. Amazing. See you later, Danny and Chris. It was amazing.